Are cover call ETFs worth it? Well, let me give you my honest answer right now before everything starts. The honest answer is, for some investors, yes, they're worth it. Because you're gonna get some monthly cash flow without selling your shares, you're gonna get some income, and potentially this could help you out for your retirement. And for some investors, no, they are not worth it because it could cap your upside, especially when bull markets are running and you are trying to accumulate wealth for the future. So there are two different aspects, and today we're going to be talking about, are cover call ETFs worth it, and we'll be talking and seeing what I think about and how they work and seeing if they could be worth it for your portfolio.
This video is purely educational content. It should not be considered personal finance advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and I don't know your financial situation, risk tolerance, or even investment goals. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results, and always do your own research and consider consulting with a qualified financial professional before making any investment. All right, let's get on to the video.
Hey guys, my name is Steve and I run the Frugal Expat website where we try to help people to save more and invest better. And today we're talking about, are cover call ETFs worth it? And we're going to be talking about the income trade-offs that you may have if you invest in cover call ETFs. Now, what is a cover call ETF? Now, that is a great question that's asked in many different videos. Now, for instance, the way we could look at it is if you have a house that's worth maybe $500,000 and your neighbor comes and knocks on the door and wants to give you maybe some money in case your house goes up to $520,000. He may give you about $3,000 as a premium to lock in his price for the next 30 days. So if that house does go up to that 520, you can sell that house to your neighbor. Now, if it does not, you keep that premium and you keep your house and you could do it again. And the same thing is, if the house does go up to about 600,000, you're gonna lose out on some of that upside potential, but you still have that $3,000 premium and you still get that $20,000 in the income when it does sell it to that neighbor. Now that's kind of like the stock market, and that's kind of like cover calls. Now what's gonna happen is, maybe you have a stock like Apple, you have 100 shares, it's worth about $200, and you're gonna sell the option to sell it as a cover call to someone else, and that person may pay about maybe $2 for every share, which is going to be about $200 premium for it to sell it at maybe $210. And so if the share price does hit $210, you sell it, you get $100 in appreciation and that $200 premium. Now, if it doesn't hit that $210, you don't have to sell it and you can do it another month. Now, if it goes up to $220 or $225, you miss out on potential upside, and that's part of selling cover calls. Now, the cool thing with cover call ETFs is you don't have to do it yourself. You have a team managing these ETFs. Like, you've got several different companies, and there's about 800 plus different cover call and option ETFs on the market today. So there's plenty of opportunities for people to manage it for you. Neos is a company that has plenty of different cover call ETFs, and basically they do all the work for you. You put your money into the ETF, they give you the distributions every single month, and you don't have to worry about all those other hard things about what it is and how to do it and when to do it and all these things. You got professional managers doing it for you. Now that's the cool thing about cover call ETFs and how they work. Now let's talk numbers, because that is a very important part of cover call ETFs. We're talking about yield. Now there are a lot of different ETFs out there that promise big yields, but I'm not going to tell you to buy those because they seem scammy, they seem spammy, and honestly, you could lose a lot of money because maybe the NAV does depreciate, and that means your initial investment will go down in value. And we have seen this with some yield max ETFs like a MSTY and a ULTY, and these have really done poorly and they've overpromised, and those aren't very good. Now there are other ETFs like from Neos, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Tap Alpha that promise more conservative numbers, anywhere from like 8% all the way up to maybe 15-20%, and those are a little bit more conservative. They also give you a little bit of some NAV appreciation because maybe they don't sell the entire portfolio, and this could be a good place to add some cover call ETFs into your portfolio. Now, a couple ETFs that I like are SPYI, which has a yield of anywhere between that 11 to 13%, sits around 12%. QQQI has a yield around 14%. Then you have like a TDAC, which is around 17%. You have a GPIX, which is about 8 or 9%. GPIQ, which is around 10%. And so these are some great cover call ETFs that can help you build some income for the future. And the cool thing is they are not selling 100% of their portfolio at the money, so you have a potential to have some good upside. Now, a lot of these are selling cover call ETFs out of the money, and so you're getting some of that potential there. Now, Tap Alpha does a little bit different. They do 0 DTE, so they're gonna be selling out of the money cover calls on the day of, and they'll be closing the day after. Now, the Neos ones do usually a month out. Goldman Sachs does like a dynamic, so they'll do anywhere between 25 to 75% of their portfolio, and they'll do out of the money and close to at the money, just depending on how they're doing their options. And so you have different strategies for different companies for different ETFs, but what they're trying to do is help individual investors to have some extra income by using option selling. Now, not every strategy is the same, and not every tax application is the same as well. But just to look at those individual monies, like at $100,000, doing about 12% yield would get you about $1,000 per month. And so those are just some simple numbers to help you grasp around those. Now, if you need some income and you're close to retirement, these could be some effective ways to kind of bridge that gap between what you need and what maybe your Social Security or retirement is bringing in. Now, of course, these all have trade-offs, and we're going to be talking about 3 trade-offs that you may be getting with having these cover call ETFs in your portfolio. First trade-off is the capped upside in bull markets. So when a bull market does happen, we'll see green days going up and up and up, and we have seen these where the market may go up 5-6% one day, and it could just continue to be green for weeks and months. Now, what happens is you may be capping your upside. Just like my earlier example, you may be selling a cover call at that 210 price, but the price is now at 220, 230, 240, and it continues to go up, and you're going to miss out on some of that price appreciation. Now, that's part of the trade-offs. Now, with these ETFs and these companies, they're managing it for you, and so maybe they'll be rolling these options, and they'll still continue to give you some good premium. So that's just a part of it. You're capping some of your upside. Trade-off number 2 is NAV erosion risk. Now, sometimes when the market does crash or come down, you're gonna see some NAV erosion. Now, a lot of the good ETFs that I usually talk about on my channel do not have much NAV erosion, and so I like them because I think they continue to grow over time. The Goldman Sachs are usually having some good price appreciation. QDVO from Amplify has some good price appreciation. The Neos ones have some good price appreciation as well, but not as good as Goldman Sachs. They have more yield over price appreciation, but still, it does appreciate over time. And so with these, the risk is if the NAV does go down, the yield may not be covering as much, and so you're actually losing money in the process. And so that is just one of the risks of having some cover call ETFs in your portfolio. Trade-off number 3 is complexity and ongoing monitor. So some of these could be very complex. Maybe they're using swaps, ELNs, maybe they're using some sort of complex strategies, and maybe it can be hard to kind of wrap your mind around. I like the simple ones. The Tap Alpha does like 0 DTE. It's a little bit not as simple as like maybe a Neos. Neos does more like they'll do this call spreads, so they'll sell cover calls, and they may buy some calls on some individual holdings if they drop to a certain level. So the more complex things are, the harder it is to understand, and that means it may not be the one for you. I think the simple ones are the best ones, and the ones that maybe don't have such huge complexities. So that could be a trade-off. You know, also owning an index ETF like a QQQ or a VOO or even VTI is very simple. And so with cover call strategies, you're getting a little bit more complex with each ETF, and so that could be a trade-off for owning them. Before I get into the tax section, I want to just talk about one place I am enjoying and creating and building, and that is a community of investors. You know, you may be reading the articles, watching some videos, and even getting all these concepts into your head, but the hard part is, what if you have a question and you don't have anyone to ask? This is where I'm building a wealth building a collective community where a lot of people are coming together and they're able to kind of add into the conversation. And I have set up where you can do some one-on-one coaching with me, and there's just a great community where you guys can join. I'm going to leave a link in my description and a link in my pinned comments for this free community where you guys can join. You can join the conversation. You can talk with other investors on how to build your portfolios and even ask questions that I am here to answer. And it's a cool place to go to. So if you want, here's a link in the description, pinned comments, and a QR code up here. So check it out and let's get back to the video. Now, there's tax advantages to some covered call ETFs. Now, personally, I am selling some covered calls, and so my tax advantages aren't really there. If it's short-term capital gains, well, I'm going to get that ordinary rate income. But with some of these ETFs, they are selling on the indexes itself. So like they'll sell on the SPX or the INDX, which is the S&P 500 index, and the NASDAQ 100 index. And so they're selling covered calls on these indexes, and they're getting these things called a 1256 contract. So what it means is the premium or the income coming back to you are taxed at a 60% long-term capital gains and 40% short-term capital gains. You are also getting some return of capital, and so some of the capital is being returned to you, meaning it means the cost basis of each asset is going down. But the cool thing is it's very tax efficient. So if you have these in a taxable account, they could be tax efficient. Now, not all these ETFs have these tax portions. If you're using swaps or ELNs, then you're gonna have some ordinary taxes. Like the JP Morgan ones that's in JEPI and JEPQ use ELNs, equity linked notes, which means they're taxed at an ordinary rate. So if you're in that middle to high income rate, they're gonna be taxed that way. Now, if you're using maybe some of the NEOS ones and some of the Goldman Sachs and even the Tap Alpha ones, you're gonna get some of that 1256 contract, the ROC in there. And so that means you're gonna have some better tax efficiency. NEOS does a lot of their ETFs with those 1256, so they're very appealing to many investors that have these in taxable accounts. So that's something to think about. Now let's get to my honest answer, my verdict on who are these worth it for. Now, first of all, if you are a retiree or someone looking for income to go from to help you out, kind of bridge some of those gaps from the Social Security, maybe from a pension or even a 401k, this income could help bridge that gap. And the cool thing is it's monthly. A lot of dividend ETFs like an SCHD or DGRO, VYM or FDVV, they pay out quarterly. And even VOO or VTI pay out quarterly as well. And so you have to wait every 3 months before you get those juicy dividends. But with these covered call ETFs, they're all done monthly. And the cool thing is you can wait every single month, and many of them are doing very consistently. So you'll get this consistent amount every single month, and that's good news for you because you can plan a budget around that. And so when you're retiring, this is some good extra income for your retirement. Now, if you're also a FIRE investor, someone that's looking to, you're already retired and you don't want to sell some shares, well, these covered call ETFs could help out with mitigating some of that risk and helping out fund some of that early retirement. This could be a great place for you as well. If you're looking for maybe some tax efficiency within your portfolio, instead of selling covered calls, you could have these ETFs that do it for you, and you can have some more tax efficiency within your taxable account. So that could be a reason why these could be worth it for you. Now, if you're an investor in your early 20s, maybe your early 30s, and you're wanting to accumulate wealth right now, well, these may not be worth it for you. Maybe you would rather have maybe some tech ETFs like a QQQM, VGT, SMH, something to help you build more wealth for tomorrow. Those will probably be more worth it than these covered call ETFs. Those that are 100% growth focused investors may not want to have some of these income ETFs in your portfolio yet. Maybe when you're getting closer to retirement, you may want to start to transition, and so these may not be worth it for you. Maybe those that can't handle the underperformance of a bull market may want to stay away from these because these could underperform some classic indexes like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100. So you may want to avoid them and go with some ETFs that track those indexes altogether. The single most important question you should ask yourself is, do I need income today or now? Or should I be focused on something else? Now, if you have a great job that's supplying enough income to cover your expenses and you're saving a good emergency fund for the future, plus you're able to save and invest, well, you may not need the income now. Now, if you are getting closer to retirement, maybe you're looking at FIRE, maybe you just lost your job and you still have assets and you still have some income, maybe these income and cover call ETFs are worth it for you. So you got to think about that question. Do I need income today? What am I building for the future? And what is my strategy that I want to build around? Now, each person is different. Each person has a different strategy. You could be growth today, and maybe you think in the future, I want to transition into these later. That could be a possibility. Maybe you have some dividends, maybe you have some growth, maybe you want to have a bucket full of income as well. And so you have 3 different buckets creating your entire portfolio for you. Maybe you're already in retirement, you have your Social Security, you have something else, and now you're just adding some extra into it so you can help fund some of your travels and maybe some fun things you want to do in your retirement. There are different people for different ways and different strategies. So let me know, what is your strategy? Let me know, are cover call ETFs worth it for you? And if you own some, let me know in the comments. If you own dividend ETFs, let me know in the comments. If you own something that maybe I've never heard of, let me know in the comments. All right, and the cool thing is you can check out some of my other videos right up here. And I'll see you in the next one.